Welcome to Q&A, Social Security Disability Today. This program is brought to you by the Reeves Law Firm, representing you and your Social Security and disability needs. If you have a problem or questions regarding Social Security and disability, call attorney Anthony Reeves. Here's your host, attorney Anthony Reeves.
Okay, I get this asked to me quite a bit too. What does it mean that I'm not disabled before a particular date last insured? All right, I've had this conversation with people, and I want you to follow along with when I break it down. When you work and pay into Social Security and you apply for disability benefits, if you've earned enough quarters of coverage, then there's going to be a specific date that if you're trying to get disability based on what you paid in, that you have to demonstrate that your disability that your condition disabled you before that date. So let me give you a good example. Let's say, for instance, that you apply for disability benefits August 1st, 2014. Your date last insured is December 31st, 2013, which means in order for you to get disability benefits, you must demonstrate that your disability began at a bare minimum by December 31st, 2013 or early. Let's say that you're applying for disability because you were in a car accident on January 2nd, 2014. And you're like, well, I want to apply based on my earnings. You lose. And you're like, well, why? Because you can't demonstrate that you were disabled on December 31st. Well, I was disabled on January 2nd. Doesn't matter. That date is a firm date. If you follow along with me, let's say December 31st comes around. You're out in Times Square, you're getting your shake on, and all of a sudden, as you're going back to the subway, you slip down some stairs and fall down the stairs on the subway. Back hurt, you're in excruciating pain, the whole nine. You apply for disability benefits. Can you get disability benefits based on your earnings? Based on what I'm telling you? No. They're going to ask one magical question. When did the accident happen? It happened at 12:05 a.m. You know what that is? January 1. When is your insurance expires? December 31st. You missed it by 5 minutes. And you're sitting there going, that is the stupidest thing in the world. Say what you want. Say what you want. It's almost just like, think about it from an insurance standpoint. If your insurance lapses and your coverage if your insurance lapses and your coverage expires on a certain date, hate to be the bearer of bad news, your insurance expires on a certain date, there is nothing you can do about it. So that means that if your insurance expired on December 31st, if you get in a car accident on January 1, I hate to say it, they're not going to give you a grandfather clause to extend you out for that period of time. I hate to tell people that when they come to me with this, but I'm like, it's very finite. That date is the last date that you have. And now keep in mind, listen carefully. It's the date at which you can demonstrate that you were disabled before. Not that you got sick, not that you got an illness, not that you had a diagnosis, not that a doctor discovered. It is when you were disabled. And this comes up too. So for instance, let's say that you've had a back that's been bothering you for the longest. Okay, but it got worse in January of 2014. But it first came on in like November of 2013. Now, you're going to think, oh, I won. No. Was your back disabling you at any point in time before December 31st, 2014? Well, December 31st, 2013. Now you're stuck. So let's say that the medical evidence shows overwhelmingly that from January 1 going forward, clearly you were disabled from your back. But it doesn't show that before December 31st. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The reality is that date is a fixed date. You must demonstrate that your condition disabled you. Not that you were diagnosed, not that they found, not that you were taking medication, not that you were going to a therapist. You have to demonstrate that you were disabled before that date in order to get benefits, in order to get disability benefits based on what you work and paid into the system. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's no wiggle room around that.